This is Wholesaling Houses Elite, the no fluff and BS podcast with tips and tricks to help you become an elite wholesaler. Our guest will spill the beans on what it takes to be the best.
This podcast is brought to you by Lead Gen Pros, making it incredibly easy for the average real estate investor and business owner to get more leads. They work with a variety of companies who specialize in real estate investing and who are looking for a systemized way to increase their lead flow and grow their business. If that sounds like you, check out theleadgenpros.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Max. Now, what you're about to listen to is a pop-up. Now, Popup is a random city that I choose to go to, and we tell people to come meet us, and we talk about real estate for a couple hours. Now, this is in the Q&A format. So there's a lot of gems being dropped in this particular podcast, and what I actually did was took two of the most recent ones that I like the most, Atlanta and Houston, and we took the highlights from these and made a single podcast. So I hope you enjoy listening to the audio of this pop-up, and you've probably already seen some of this on YouTube, but now you get the full highlight version of two separate meetups. So in the comments, drop a comment, tell me what you've learned, tell me what gems have been dropped that you picked up. And also, if you're listening to this on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating because we love delivering podcasts to you guys every single week. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the other side.
What about Airbnbs? Because I would rather do that. Yeah, because I would rather do that than actually have someone in my house like on a monthly.
Love them. There's a course on that, on how to do that. I'm not an expert at it, but I love Airbnb.
Yeah, you have a course too, right?
No.
No, he said he does.
I make my money selling real estate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so you actually give out free information.
Yeah, I don't have a course.
And that's why he's lost.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm finding like 70% of the work is getting it under contract, right? But then there's 30% is actually getting the close because there's a lot of people doing this. As soon as they find out you got that deal, some people try to swoop in and poach the deal.
Yeah.
So are you putting like teeth in your contracts that like they can't?
Our contract's a contract. If your contract's solid, they can't go around it. And if they go around it, they're going to get sued. I've never had 200-something deals. I've never had it happen.
You can record it if you want.
What's your best practice on the double close?
I never double closed in my life.
Never double close.
Oh, wow.
Even with a higher.
And
I made 50 grand on a wholesale. I never double closed.
Really? The only reason I ask is you know sometimes you have those buyers that are a little bit more savvy and they're looking at their HUD one, so you're doing the seller side.
Tell them go kick rocks. Because what I tell my buyers when I first interview them is, listen, I'm a wholesaler. I spend a lot of money finding these properties. I might sell you a property for $50,000 that I found for $1. Do you care?
I'm talking about on the front end, on the
Get a better attorney. Get a better attorney.
I've heard around here what they want is they want you to sign a document where the buyer and the seller signs it saying that you're going to make this much profit.
Well, it says it on the HUD. I don't know what they do.
So it's on the HUD one. I'm just saying, when you get to the closing table, that
First thing my attorney does, he gets to the closing table, sit down, he slides an unsigned check in front of the seller, and they looking at that with the number that we promised them on there. And he says, okay, here goes the HUD documents. This is this side, sign right there. You're gonna get this amount of money. Like, I've never had that problem.
How many of them actually look at the HUD?
That's what they care about the check.
So you always close with your attorney?
Every time. My buyers, they tell me, close my attorney, I tell them, go kick rocks. My attorney knows how to control the deal and set the expectation for the seller. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he wasn't a buyer, but he didn't know, so he couldn't close. So then he stopped answering the phone, no email, and I couldn't get him to sign to get the money out of escrow. Anyway, can we go forward on that?
So in the future, it should not be it's already a predetermined that if you do not execute this contract, it's non-refundable.
Right.
So that needs to be in your assignment agreement.
Okay.
So that when you turn that into the closing attorney or agent, that they understand that there's no signature needed for release of funds because he already signed this and said that I'm going to perform, and if I don't, I'm going to give this money to this guy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still working though.
I
got a lot of other properties.
You're going to fail forward. Now you know.
Yes, indeed, for sure.
So go get the next one. You know what I'm saying?
My problem now, though, is because of my time, I'm like, all right, do I just grind it out and stay on the phone? Or do I try to find a cold caller
Not yet.
to be able to do so?
Not yet.
'Cause then I'm going to spend time training them.
Yeah. You want to become so good at cold calling that you be able to train anybody to do it. Do you feel 100% comfortable cold calling?
Yeah.
Yeah, so become real good at it and then train somebody. But do it to where you have to replace yourself, to where you can't cold call and go on appointments. And then hand over the cold calling aspect. And then go on appointments until you can't go on appointments anymore. Then hire somebody else to go on appointments. And then you repeat that process. Another cold caller, another. You get
So replace myself.
Yeah.
When I have to, not because I want to be able
Dude.
to.
My question is this, right? With the market, it has ups and downs, it has turns and dips, right? It's a seller's market right now.
Right, yes.
Right. What would you recommend to someone who is doing real estate, have been doing it for 2 years?
As an agent?
No.
Okay.
As an investor.
Okay.
Wholesaling, rehabbing.
Okay.
And the market is going to turn again.
Yeah, I believe so too.
So what would you recommend in a case like that?
Keep consistent. Build your buyers list and find when it makes a turn. So you've only been doing it for 2 years, so you haven't seen a turn yet.
Right.
When I was in real estate. I was in real estate as an agent during the turn, so I understand the turn. I lost my business during the turn. So when the turn happens, if you still understand real estate, there's always going to be buyers with cash, and you're going to see these institutional buyers that are going to come in and they're going to spend billions of dollars, and they're going to want to buy assets at 50, 40% on the dollar. You just keep doing what you're doing. Yes, sir.
You're talking about cosmetic stuff, but what about when you run into this roof is old, this foundation needs repair, you know, plumbing needs to be replaced.
So the cool thing is get a roof estimate one time from a good contractor, not a contractor that services a homeowner, a contractor that services flippers. There's two different prices out there. You know that, right? So get the price one time. If your average size house is 1,300 square feet, you can give or take after you get that price. You get what I'm saying? Then get a foundation guy. He might say every corner is $2,000, right? Then you know if the foundation's messed up and it's two sides, put in $4,000. So the cosmetic stuff you'll get, but that stuff, get the pricing one time and keep rolling. You just got to get a ballpark. So you said, how do you find ARV is your question?
Yes, understanding ARV numbers when it comes to running comps or, you know, newbies that don't have a realtor.
Okay, so I've never went to a realtor prior to having Francis, and I still do my own ARVs without Francis. I can't really speak for the Texas market, but I use simply Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com, right? So I don't know if that works in your market or not.
So with those tools, those third-party tools, it's funny because Zillow actually, they have I don't know, you got to find it, but they'll have a confidence rating as far as how good, because some states, they disclose closed comps.
Where disclosure state?
Okay, they don't disclose it here.
Okay.
So they're super inaccurate, okay? So you can get those comps two different ways. Either you can, either you have MLS access, you can get it from a realtor, or you just really know your market. So for the...
She said she don't have access to a realtor.
Okay.
What's she gonna do?
Realtors are free. So if you're look, don't waste your realtor's time. If you're gonna be doing business and you know you're gonna be doing business and you have a subject property, you know, you can ask them, hey, what's the comps on this? And like you said, for a newbie, the ARV is basically what will that house sell for when it's all pretty and fixed up.
And one thing, listen, if you really, really just have it just boggles your mind, pay a realtor $15 to $20 to do a comp. But make sure it's something that you actually need a comp on, right? The seller's interested in selling, you're down to the nuts and bolts, you're ready to negotiate. You can pay a realtor some money to actually do a ARV for you. There's a calculator basically that tells me what a deal is best fit for and what I can offer in each exit strategy. So find out your exit strategy, and if you'd be surprised. You did a deal where somebody was open to owner financing, right?
Oh man, I'd suggest you do that a lot. 3 offers.
Yeah.
Because that helps in a market like this is really competitive because most people are just going off the wholesale approach. If it doesn't have enough equity, it's not a deal, right? So yeah, I definitely a lot of times do 3 offers. So that deal was what happened was they were motivated, but they didn't need to sell right now. There was no pain attached to like the property. So they were willing to get paid out in, let's say, 6 months. So what we did was short-term owner financing. It wasn't like they were in a pinch for money. they had $30,000 left on the mortgage. So to do the owner financing deal, they called the bank. They paid the $30,000 off. They weren't in a bind. They just liked me, and they just was like, hey, we can wait. So don't always feel like someone has to be desperate in need for. So what we did is we did short-term owner financing. They did the property to me, 0 payments, 0 interest, and the whole balance due in 6 months. But as a wholesale deal, it never would have made any sense.
How much you make?
$30,000.
When you're doing like a subject to deal and you're giving them cash, do you just write them a check or do you have to put it inside?
Everything goes through an attorney or a closing company. You guys use title companies here. Everything goes through a title company. I do not do anything with my money without the protection of a title company and somebody else that can cover me. Ever.
Thank you for listening to the Wholesaling Houses Elite podcast with Maxwell. Make sure to tune in next week to see what elite wholesaler will have in the hot seat.